week has been a little rough for me. I lost my grandfather in the beginning of the week. Rest in peace to Bill Jones, my father's father, my last grandparent that I had left. I lost my dad's mother last year. So my father, he lost both of his parents within a uh, year time. I know that's hard for him to deal with. My grandfather, Bill Jones, he was 93, and he was tired of fighting. He's been having health issues since I was a kid. Like I remember he had to go to the hospital and get veins moved from one leg to another leg. I went to see him in the hospital when I was a kid. When I was my daughter's age, like 7 years old or 8, and he's been battling. He beat cancer. Um, Chemo messed him up real bad a couple of years ago. Um, he's been having a whole lot of issues, heart problems, uh, gallstones, intestinal issues. So he's been in a lot of pain. And going to see someone and they telling you that they tired. They tired of fighting, man. They tired of being in pain, man. It's hard. And, I'm not ready for him to go, but I'm not sharing the pain with him either. He had a do not resuscitate band on. And uh, the last few years, man, me and my grandfather got a lot closer. I can remember I called to check on my grandfather, and he said, "Man, come see me sometime. I'm not gonna be here too much longer. I'll wait till I'm dead." You know, and that's what exactly what I did. My situation that I went through recently, earlier this year, I got injured. It brought all of us back together. My grandfather, my father, my younger brother. Because me and my father, my younger brother, wasn't seeing eye to eye. And but the impact that people leave in your life is very important. And another thing, man, when people come through for you in the clutch, my father and my grandfather came through for me in the clutch, man. Uh, Without saying too much, because you don't know who's listening, you can't keep putting your business out there. Because I can remember one station that I followed, Gully TV. He put $100,000 cash on live, man. And he said he been having problems in his life ever since. He been having tax problems. He been having all types of problems after he done that. But that's why I don't want to say too much. But I'm 43 years old, man. My father don't have to do anything for me. My father came through in the clutch for me, man, when I had my injury. Uh, I posted a picture of my father. He was with me in the hospital. Uh, Two people came to see me in the hospital, man, and my father was one of them. And that meant the world to me. And, I know I'd have had more people come see me, but it's different in hospitals now. They kick you out quick, 24 hours. I don't care if you had a major surgery, they kick you hell up out of there. They shoot you up with all these blockers and stuff so you can walk, and you go. You do the little test that you can get in and out of a car, and that's it. Before everybody know you in the hospital, you gone. So I don't hold that against other people that's close to me in my life because I was kicked out so soon. Um, but my father, man, I didn't expect it. We didn't see eye to eye for years, and man, he came through for me in the clutch, man. My grandfather, who I didn't have the closest relationship with. I was around him. I stayed with him when I was a kid, and of course, I know who he is. because him and my father always been close. I had pictures of me and my grandfather. I can remember when I used to stay with my grandfather, and when his wife was living, grandma died. I used to spend time with them all the time. Grandma died used to love me, and my father used to tell me stories about my granddad when he was younger. I'm a lot like my grandfather on my father's side, not my grandfather on my mother's side. I think I share a little bit of both, but I'm laid back like my grandfather. I never seen my grandfather upset. Never seen him raise his voice. Today, this, today my father told me a story. He said, man, that my grandfather was a firecracker back in the day. He was known to put that knife in you. Wink, wink. I pushed that knife too. But my dad said he remember a situation when he was young and somebody cut my grandfather off. And he jumped out the car, man, and kicking the car to try to open the door so he could fight the dude. I said, Granddad? He said, yeah. And he told me, you lucky I ain't got my knife on me, motherfucker. And my grandfather, his brothers, and his cousins that's down in Buckingham County, Virginia, they know to push that straight razor. I got a few cousins that hit people with that straight razor. My father, you know, been telling me some stories lately, man. I was just like, what? I never seen my grandfather lose in school, but I got the older version of my grandfather. My grandfather was older when I was a kid, so he had calmed down a lot. But I just know for me to have the personality of my grandfather, fathers, we chill. We ain't with all that arguing and all that stuff. We'll walk away, but we'll get busy. What I found out now is my grandfather get busy. I didn't know that. He'll bust that tool too. All my uncles and cousins down in the country, they'll bust that too because they all hunt and they don't play the games. So maybe that's where I got it from. I know my grandmother, my dad's mom, she'll bust that tool too. And I knew where her gun, where she kept her gun when I was a kid. Same thing as my mom. My mom will bust that too. I knew where all her guns were. My father too. So it's kind of in my blood to play defense and protect yourself and not go for nothing. And when you need to get busy, you're going to get busy. You're not going to play. But my grandfather, man, I wanted to have a closer relationship with him growing up, like he did with my brother, my younger brother. My brother and him were much closer than me and him were because my brother came later. My brother was married, came through marriage, and he was around more. I wasn't around. I was, you know, with my mom. And my grandfather used to stop and see me when I was a kid, man. He used to pull up in his fly Jaguar. My grandfather always dressed nice, nice suits. Had a long trench leather coats, man, with the leather hats. That's where I get a lot of my fashion from too. You know, he had the corporate job. My grandfather was always well off. I can remember staying with my grandfather and with his wife, Grandma Vi. He had a fly a crib apartment condo in Silver Spring. I thought it was a DC, but my dad told me recently that it was Silver Spring. I was a kid. This was the 80s, late 80s. So, yeah, man, he always had a fly crib, fly whip, dressed nice, fly woman. He liked them light bright women. He liked them red bones, man. You know, I went through that phase, but you know, I stay away from them now. Give me some chocolate and some caramel. But because then them light skin bras, them light bright bras ain't no good. But he always does some fly stuff. He used to work at NIH. He retired from there. And, my grandfather kept a bankroll on him, man. He was always a fly dude. And, I wish I would have had a closer relationship with him like my little brother did, but what he did for me was was better than pushing me on the swing when I was a kid. Uh, Giving me $5 to go to the ice cream truck, stuff like that, because he came through for me when I really, really, really needed somebody. And if it wasn't for my grandfather, I'd be up shit creek right now, and my father. And he, just like my Cowboys, came back from 21 and nothing today to win the game. That's how my grandfather came through for me in the clutch, man. Uh, I did feel some type of way that he was closer to my little brother and didn't do the things for me, but I understand the circumstances was a little different. I was with my mom, and my little brother was with my dad because he's married to his mother, so they live together. So that's why they always were together more. But and mind you, I'm a grown man. I'm 43 years old. My grandfather and my father don't have to do nothing for me. You see, they don't. I'm a grown man, grown. But when I needed them both the most, man, it came through for me, man. And it shocked me. I'm surprised. And I was able to defeat the enemy because my enemy didn't see what I had in my corner. They analyzed me and said, okay, we'll stop on this mud. But he didn't know what I came from. I was kind of the rebel. They looked at my history and my life and seen that I went to prison. I ran a prison. Got a lot of violence on my record. I'm dealing with child support, stuff like that. They was like, man, we got this dude. But they didn't see the support system that I secretly had that I didn't know I had. But this is how I move like these men. I move like my grandfather and my father, who always had themselves together. But I always allowed females to tear me down. I was always doing well for myself since I was 16 years old. But I always had a woman tearing me down. But I matured out of that phase of my life now. I don't even let a woman get close enough to me to affect my life in any type of way. I'm not trying to Cinderella any women anymore. If you in the dumpster, that's where you need to stay. That's probably where you belong. And I don't have to deal with you. I have no business dealing with you anyway. So I took pride in Cinderella women in the first part of my life, man, and it cost me. But I learned from it. It's nothing to be bitter about. It's a learning experience. So I'm ready to handle life in a second wave of life. Men don't start living life until they're 40. So I finally got it, and I'm moving properly now. That's the only thing that matters. But my enemy didn't see the support system that I had. And I can't say too much on here. I'm not going to say what happened and things that how they came through for me because you don't know who's listening. But I'm just going to say, man, I had a secret army, and I was able to smack my enemy in the face, man, and stomp on him. And my grandfather and my father didn't have to do that, but my grandfather left an impact in my life, man, a positive impact. Uh, Man, I miss him. I didn't want him to go, but like I said, I wasn't here sharing the pain with him. Him have to tired of going to the hospital, tired of having surgery. He didn't want to go through the chemo. I think if he'd have went through the chemo, he could have got a few extra years. But he said 3 times a week. He tired. He lived a good life, man. He's 93 years old. Uh, and I told him, man, I said, man, I ain't ready for you to go. When I went to see him in the hospital, uh, the time before last, I said, man, I ain't ready for you to go. He said, man, you're not in pain like me every day, man. And what could I say? There was nothing I could say. It was hard. I had to step outside and get myself together, man. But I come from the death business, man. I'm in the funeral home and work for the morgue. I've seen death, man. But I've been in nursing homes, and I spoke to people, man, who rotted away in nursing homes after they took care of their entire families, man. It's sad. This is why it's important, man. Man, we gotta navigate through life properly, man, because when you're down, man, that's when you see who's with you. I mean, men fall ill and the whole families turn on them. Every people that they took care of for their entire lives, man, are not there for them. But my grandfather was able to see the legacy he left be there for him. Me, my father, my brother, we were all there for him. This is the legacy that he left behind. And man, he walked away, man, and took care of everybody. He didn't owe me anything, but he took care of me before he left, man. Uh, my father is here for me. I'm 43 years old. My father is 62. He don't owe me anything. He don't owe me anything. I'm a grown man. But I've been recently talking to my father, man. I found out a lot of things. Him and my mom went through. My mom took him through a lot. He had to deal with that, similar to what I'm dealing with my children's mom. I think what he went through was similar, and he's still stuck in there. And used to get me and stuff like that. I thought my brother had him on child support, but my mom never put my father on child support. My dad said he was just sending money. I said, oh, okay. So I think my mom had everybody else on child support, but she didn't have my father on child support. So I said, oh, that was good. But my father, um, we ironed out a lot of things from the past. Um, a conversation can help. You have just reach out and have a conversation with your parents, man. If it means if it's not if it's beyond repair, no way. I'm not talking about that. Like there's nothing my mom can say to fix anything. She is who she is. But my father, the creator, put things in place, man, to bring people together. My father wasn't speaking before my injury, and I'm laying in the hospital with a broken neck, man. And my father came through for me, man, and helped make sure that I was taken care of, you know. But rest in peace to my grandfather, man. Uh, things in life, I move different in life now. I have spending time with my daughters. Me being a father of my children was always important to me. I guess I get that from my father and my grandfather too, because just like my father, I had to fight to be. Just like my father had to fight to be in my life, I had to fight to be in my children's lives. It's hard, man, but I didn't give up. My father didn't give up. I mean, once I became a teenager and ran the streets and started selling dope, my father was pissed, man. My father said when he came down to see me and my grandmother down in the truck with him, and he pulled up and saw me on the corner selling dope, he said he wanted to pull his gun out and spray the block. I didn't know how much I hurt my father by me being a parent now. I understand. But years ago when he was telling me this, I didn't. But I understand now because I have sons of that age, and I couldn't imagine me pulling up on block seeing my son selling dope, man. You know, so I put myself in the shoes now because I'm older, I'm wiser, I live life now. I understand. I understand why my Uncle Butch was upset that I was selling dope out of his mother's house. I understand now. I didn't understand then. And I'm gonna do a story about Uncle Butch, man. He was a good tool in my life too. See, I grew up in a time where you had a village, man. You had aunties, you had uncles who were men. Men were men back then. You know, men who had trades. Men can make a living with their hands, stuff like that, man. They can. You go out on a job with your uncle, man. See your uncle work. You help your uncle work, stuff like that, man. I grew up with some men like that in my life, so I had the dirt bags like the Tims and the Chuckies and the losers like Bernadine and her whole crew, all of her children. But I had a positive balance like Aunt Mountain, Aunt Evil, Uncle Butch, Uncle Rupert. I seen men that were men. Uncle Parker, who took care of his family, man, who's still taking care of his family, who always moved as a man. You know, you didn't hear about him cussing his wife out, beating on his wife, man. You know, I had a great balance, man, with good people in my life to look up to also. So that's important when you navigating through life. Life is a journey, man, and I had a great journey. And now that I'm older and I'm mature, man, I can reflect on the good people, man, and take a piece of what they gave me and apply it to my life. And I apply it to my children's lives. I talk to my children just like I have conversations with my daughter. I asked her, I said, you understand what daddy's going through to be in your life, don't you? She said, yes. My daughter is very smart. She understands. I don't bring any women around my daughter. It's about her. I spoil my daughter. I take pride in spoiling her. I've been taking my daughter out on dates since she was a baby. When you had to put the car seat on top of the little chair in the restaurant, flip the chair upside down and sit the car seat on. She's been going to restaurants with me. Um, all of my children, my sons, I mean, I fought all of their mothers in court, man. To be a father, being a father means a lot to me, man. I love children. I love to take care of children. You know, I love to nurture. I'm a nurturer, man. I love taking care of people. And certain people uh, took advantage of me for that quality that I have, and I had to learn how to pull back now because it's a dirty game out here, man. People will just sit back and use you and don't give a damn about you, and uh, and they'll use your kindness as a weakness. They'll prey on your kindness, and they low down dirty dirt bags. But I talk to my daughter, man. My daughter understands what I go through, and my daughter understands that I love her, and no woman will ever come before her. It's about her when she's with me, when we're here together. It's about her. I told my daughter, I'm gonna spoil you for the rest of my life, and when I'm gone, you're gonna be taken care of. I'm not gonna take care of a woman. I talk to my daughter like this. I'll never take care of a woman. I'm gonna take care of you. I'm gonna make sure that you don't have to work yourself to death and your supervisor or general manager dangle a job over your head so he can sleep with you. You won't have to deal with that. You can tell him to go fuck off because I'm gonna make sure you straight. See, I can do this because I ain't taking care of no raggedy woman who don't appreciate nothing. I'm putting my all into my daughters because it's not a loss when you're doing it for your children. But when you out here taking care of raggedy bras who don't care about you, it's a loss. But I pay attention to my father and my grandfather. They never took care of no raggedy bras either. And so I kind of strayed off the path, man. I had to learn a lot of life lessons, man. And my father told me with Well, my daughter's mom. He's like, man, what you mess with her for? She can't offer you nothing but some ass. You getting tired of and she ain't gonna do nothing but try to push out a bunch of babies by you and trap you. Voila. He must have had a crystal ball in his hand because that's what happened. See, and but I was a little different, man. I learned from bumps I hit in life. Uh, I don't learn from advice. Now I do. I pay attention now that I'm older and mature. But uh, just like my father told me and my grandmother told me, everyone told me, them street dudes don't give a damn about you. They're your friends now, but they're gonna end up your enemies later. Voila, they all had a crystal ball because that's exactly what happened. Um, but again, I had to bump my head and go to prison to learn that them dudes in the streets ain't shit. And I had to stay away from them. And it's not really me. They always hated me because I was different. I wasn't like them. This is why I took my hit, went to prison, came home. I never ran the streets again. You see, the Creator always uh, gave me a little lesson, hit me on my hand, say, hey, don't put too much on me that I can't handle. This is why I never got tore down completely. I had setbacks in life, but I always recover and come back better. But I have a lot of positive influences, man. My grandmother, when I lived homeowner in D.C., my grandfather owned property in D.C., then he moved to Virginia. You know, my father was always responsible, had himself together. So I had a lot of positive influences around me with people who got themselves together. I always had myself together, but like I said, I allowed women that I shouldn't have never dealt with, poverty-stricken women, uh, whom I shouldn't have dealt with tear me down. I should have never been in relationships with women like that, with children that they can't even support on their own. Uh, all the way back to my first girlfriend. Had a kid when I met her. I'm taking care of her and the kid. You know, I understand that that's not the right thing to do now because that'll make your pockets light. And a woman would never appreciate anything because when it was over, everything that I did for them meant nothing. This is why I don't hold a woman to a standard anymore. I don't expect nothing from them because they don't remember the things that you did for them. It means nothing after you do it. They made a song back in the day. What was it? Janet. What have you done for me lately? Dun, 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 dun. Ooh, yeah. They don't care. I mean, you can do everything for them. You can pay all their bills for the month, take them to the Van Cleef store, buy them some jewelry. They trying to see what they can get from you next week. That was good for this week. What are you gonna do now? That was last month. So be careful, fellas, man. You'll never get ahead in life by taking care of a woman. Don't ever take care of a woman. Don't take care of your children. You know that's not a loss. Even if you fall out with your children, it's not a loss because that comes from you. They have your gene pool. That's your legacy, man. So it's never a loss. I spoil my daughter, and I'm gonna make sure my daughter is straight out. I'm mature in life. I'm older. I have a 7-year-old daughter. Looks just like me, shaped just like me, and she's very smart, man. And I talked to my daughter, and I was surprised and impressed how she understands what's going on. You know, her mother is bringing around different dudes. I mean, that's not a good look, but my daughter has a balance. She has a father who focuses just on her. I don't care about no woman. She don't have to share attention with no woman. It's about her. I spoil her. She know I work hard to give her the better things. She know this. She know I'm going back and forth to court to stay in her life because her mother is jealous. mother doesn't want her to have a father in her life because she didn't have a father in her life to do these things. And what I did for her mother at one point in time, her mother knows that I'm going to do that for my daughter. Buy her a car when she starts driving. Give her money. Make sure she's good. She's not going to need a little Daquan from the trap for attention because she was raised right. Her father was in her life, and that's different. You see the women who had a father in their life, man, they totally different. It's different. Trust me, because I dated women who had fathers in their lives, man, and it was a lot different than women who didn't. Women who didn't, they kind of rebels, man. They not all of them, but most of them, they're rebels, man. They don't give a damn about no man. It's all about using a man, and they're heartless towards a man. They'll take a man to the cleaners, tear a man down because they don't care. Because their father wasn't there. You see? So they don't care about no man. What they'll do, there's no limits to what they'll do to a man. Because they hate men. Because of their father. So, guys, you have to vet people properly, man. Because there could be all types of mental damage there. And you could be walking into a situation, man, that you have no idea what's going on. This woman is just putting on a front that she loves you, she cool, but she just hate all men. And when that time comes, she's going to betray you because of what. Just think about it, fellas. Women don't care about betraying a man. And I asked a woman. A woman was honest with me and told me why. Shout out to Pootie and rest in peace to her. I asked her this question, man. I was like, yo, why do women do us like that, man? When we treat y'all this, she was like, because I asked her specifically, because I looked out for her and she did me dirty. I was like, yo, why you do that, man? I was always solid with you. She was like, you're a man. You can handle these things. I'm a woman. So, stabbing a man in the back, man, you can handle it. Because you're a man. I can't handle that like you can because I'm a woman. That's what she said to me. And I was driving when she said that, and I was just like, damn. I went quiet for a while. And then she was like, you mad? You mad? You mad? I was like, no. And I respect you for being honest with me. She was like, oh, yeah. I was just like, damn. So that's what it is. But rest in peace to my grandfather, man. I'm going to carry on your legacy. You live inside me, you know. I'm glad that we had a chance to spend time together before you passed. The Creator put things in place, man. Like me getting injured brought us all together, man. And that was a great thing. I didn't want to be injured, but the Creator put things in place for a reason. That was the thing that was going to bring us all together. Me, my father, and my younger brother. So, as you see in the picture in thumbnail, this is us at my grandfather's house down in Richmond. And we went to see him. I think my father stopped at a Waffle House and got my granddad something. He wanted something to eat. I can remember when I was a kid, when my grandfather first bought that house and we moved him from Silver Spring. Man, he had a big moving truck, 18-wheeler, moving all his stuff, man. My grandfather collects a lot of nice things like me. See, I get a lot of things from my grandfather that I'm noticing now. I'm like, my grandfather always had a lot of nice things like plants, pottery, artwork, nice tables that he didn't got, nice furniture, other things. That's how I am. I get that from him. And my Uncle Al, who passed earlier this year, my dad's older brother was like that too. My Uncle Al liked nice things. He has artwork and memorabilia from all over the world through his travels. See, my Uncle Al travel. I get that from my Uncle Al. You see, I mean, I had great influences in life. I remember my Uncle Al. You know, he was married, but later in life when he wasn't married, boy, he keep him a fly woman from all different parts of the world. He had a Ethiopian, fly Ethiopian, he got a fly Brazilian woman that he married. Man, my Uncle Al, man, I get that from him. My grandfather always had nice things, man. Always kept a bankroll in his pocket. Man, I'm getting back to that now, because that's how I always was. Always, since I was 16, I kept a bankroll in my pocket. I was always fly. But I'm not as generous anymore. You know, I make my pockets light, giving people the shirt off of my back. Have my pockets light. I don't do that anymore. But you know, I'm passing on all these jewels and tools that I had on to my children, my daughter. I have conversations with my daughter. I said, baby, you understand that your daddy loves you? She said, yes. Okay, I just want to make sure you understand that I put you first, right? That no woman is coming, you don't have to compete with no woman for my attention, right? You know that, right? She said, yeah, I know that, Daddy. You see, because it's all about you, baby. I don't care about no woman. You'll never have to go through that fighting a woman and arguing with me over a woman because I put a woman before you. That'll never happen, baby. You know that, right? She said, I know, Daddy. Okay. I gotta do subscribe. I can't read it, man. It's too small. I gotta make the font bigger in the chat. You know, I'm getting old now. But shout out to everyone who like, share, and subscribe, and just listen to my videos, and you get something from it that you can add to your life. That's why I do it. But rest in peace, granddad, man. I miss you. I wasn't ready for you to go, but like I said, I wasn't sharing your pain. Uh, uh, I wanted you around a couple of years, but you've been around long enough. You left a great impact, man, and I appreciate you, and I'm gonna love you for life, man. Um, Papi Chulo, man. I'm out. Travel's coming up soon. I'm gonna do it big, man. I'm going Japan, Tokyo, Japan. I'm about to cross the world now. I think I did enough in Central and South America. I'm about to hit Asia now, Thailand, Japan. Do a lot of shopping too, because shout out to the channel that I follow, Gully TV. He's over in Tokyo, Japan now, and yeah, he's doing it big, man. The sneaker game over there, how heavily the Japanese culture embraced the 80s culture, American culture. It's crazy. They into the graffiti. They still break dancing. They still driving the 190 bands and souped up over there. I can't wait to get over there and see that, man. I'm a graffiti head. Um, I love the 80s. So they still have a lot of clothes from the 80s over there. It's crazy. But you're going to have to pay a pretty penny for it. You know, like the British Knights. Uh, man, they got all the clothes from the 80s over there, man. They study American culture, man, and they love the culture from the 80s and the early 90s. So I can't wait to get over there and take an empty luggage and come back and do a lot of shopping. But I think I'm gonna do it big and hit Japan, man. I want to do Brazil first before I leave Central and South America. I want to do Brazil. So when I take me a little uh, vacate to Panama, I might hop and go to Brazil, and then from there I might lay back and relax in Panama, but just go hit I might stop in England again because it's well overdue. I haven't been to England in a couple of years, and I want to re up on my men's fashion, my nice dress clothes. So I do my shopping in England for that. Buy my dress hats, my dress clothes, my fine men wear, at a spot called Chad's in Norwich, England. I get fitted, pick out everything I want, come back a day or two later, and everything is ready. It's a lot of this stuff I can grab right then and there, but I get a lot of custom pieces made in colors that I want. You know, these 100% cotton slacks, wool slacks, stuff like that, man. Great fabrics. I'm going to England and do a lot of shopping. I'm gonna stop in London too. I like London. You know, I've been from the bottom of England all the way through the top of England, so I know how to move and shake in England. So I want to go to London and do some shopping too. It's a lot of fly gear in London, a lot of stuff that don't make it over here. You know, the H&M and Zara headquarters are over there. So yeah, so you can get things that'll never touch soil in America. But yeah, I'm about to get my exploring back on. I'm gonna do it big. I got some big trips coming up. I have some contacts in Japan. Man, you'd be surprised, man, who you meet in life. In my orientation at my new job, man, one of the guys he from Japan, and I linked when I said, "Yo, you got family over there? I'm trying to go to Japan." I was like, "Man, you link me with your family over there so you can show me around, because it's always best, ladies and gentlemen, when you have a contact, man, and and they can show you around, man. Make sure you moving right. You throw them a couple of $100, man, and for your safety, that's nothing. Instead of you out freelancing on your own, you got nice little tour guide, man. Throw them a little something, man, for your safety. That's nothing. But I gotta have a contact in Tokyo, Japan, who can show me around, point me in the right directions, tell me where to stay, and I'm gonna have a great experience when I'm going over there. So cool. You know, yeah, of course I'm gonna document it and show y'all the game and hope you can make it over there. But I'm gonna start off in Tokyo, Japan, and I'm gonna hit other places. I might just travel for a whole month. This is what I'm thinking coming up. I might stay gone for an entire month. Uh, and just relax, man, and get my mind together and prepare for my second wave in life. So I'm gonna take a big vacation before I come back and be ready for life, man. Stepping into new shoes. So make sure y'all ride with me, man, and you're gonna learn something from this channel. You know, I give y'all a piece of things that I went through in life and the growth that came from it. It's for educational purposes, man. I'm giving y'all this. Now, I'm not trying to make no one look bad, but if you did dirt, man, and I'm talking about the dirt, hey, you just was a dirty person. It is what it is. That's the impact that you left on me. You can't be bad at that. But I'm giving it to you guys as an educational tool. I'm not bitter or hurt about anything. I'm just sharing it with you guys and warning you guys what to look out for, because it's a lot of traps out here in this world, man. And some traps you fall in, you can never get out of. That's what I'm saying. I don't want none of you to ever go through that. I went through a lot of these things for you. This is why I'm sharing the information. But make sure you guys stay tuned. I got a lot of fly stuff coming up, a lot of home decor, stuff like that, man. It's coming up, man. I'm gonna do some fly shopping while I'm out on vacation. I'm gonna bring a designer in to help me design my places. Yeah, it's about to be fly, man. Y'all stay tuned. Poppy Chulo, I'm out.